In the shadows of international law, where borders blur and money flows like water, one name continues to haunt the world's most wanted lists: Dawood Ibrahim. Once a petty criminal from the narrow lanes of Dongri, Mumbai, now a billionaire fugitive with a criminal empire stretching from the slums of India to the penthouses of Dubai, Karachi, and beyond. This is not just the story of a man. It's the story of a ghost, one that built an empire in silence, orchestrated one of the deadliest terror attacks in India, and remains untouchable decades later. This is the story of how Dawood Ibrahim became the kingpin of South Asia. Born on December 26, 1955 in the small village of Khed in Maharashtra, Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar was the son of a humble police constable. Raised in the gritty streets of Dongri, Mumbai, a place known for poverty, density, and its flirtation with the underworld, Dawood's childhood was defined not by school books, but by the streets. As a teenager, he fell into the world of petty theft, street fights, and gang disputes. The world around him was one of survival, and Dawood learned quickly that fear and money were the two currencies that truly mattered. By the late 1970s, Dawood, along with his elder brother Shabir, broke away from their mentor Bashu Dada and formed their own gang. It was the beginning of D Company. They rose through Mumbai's criminal ecosystem with brutal efficiency, smuggling gold, pirated goods, and extorting businesses. But the turning point came when Shabir was assassinated by a rival gang. Dawood, still in his 20s, took over as the sole head. The grief hardened him, and the ambition? It became boundless. By the 1980s, D Company wasn't just a gang, it was becoming a corporation of crime. Mumbai's docks, gold smuggling routes, underground betting circuits, and even Bollywood film financing all fell under Dawood's growing influence. When the Indian police began closing in, Dawood fled to Dubai in 1986, but exile didn't stop his ascent, it supercharged it. From Dubai, Dawood transformed D Company into a transnational crime syndicate. He diversified into drug trafficking, weapons smuggling, real estate laundering, and the international hawala system. Money flowed in from Afghanistan's opium fields to Europe's counterfeit markets. He cultivated contacts in Pakistan's ISI, the Taliban, and even various political figures across South Asia. He funded films in Bollywood while simultaneously extorting its biggest stars and producers. He rigged horse races, laundered money through restaurants, and used shell companies to buy luxury hotels in Dubai and London. At the height of its power, D Company employed over 5,000 operatives across continents. By now, Dawood was not just a crime boss, he was a shadow state. March 12, 1993. A day that would change India forever. A coordinated string of 13 bomb blasts ripped through Mumbai, India's financial capital. Buildings collapsed, vehicles exploded, glass rained from the sky. In total, 257 people were killed. Over 700 were injured. India was in shock. But soon, intelligence and forensic trails began to point to one man, Dawood Ibrahim. He had allegedly orchestrated the attack from abroad, sourcing RDX explosives and firearms, and working with Tiger Memon and other associates to carry out the logistics. Why? The attack was believed to be retaliation for the 1992-93 riots that left hundreds of Muslims dead in Mumbai. But this wasn't just revenge. It was strategy. Dawood had officially crossed over from underworld don to global terrorist. The Indian government labeled him the mastermind. Interpol issued a red corner notice. The United States, years later, would name him a specially designated global terrorist. Dawood Ibrahim had become one of the world's most wanted men. Despite being the subject of global manhunts, Dawood vanished. He moved with calculated precision, allegedly under the protection of Pakistan's intelligence agency, the ISI. Sources report that he resides in a heavily guarded mansion in Karachi's Clifton district. Pakistan continues to deny his presence. But behind the scenes, Dawood's empire never stopped. D Company remains active in narcotics, human trafficking, illegal arms, and even counterfeit currency operations targeting India's economy. He has invested heavily in real estate, owning properties in the UK, UAE, Morocco, Turkey, South Africa, and even Australia. Some estimates suggest his total holdings across 16 countries are worth more than 55,000 crore, over $6 billion. He no longer needs to pull the strings personally. His associates like Chota Shakil, Iqbal Mirchi, and Abu Salam managed his operations globally. Abu Salam, once one of Dawood's trusted lieutenants, was eventually arrested and convicted in India. Iqbal Mirchi died in London with millions in assets still under investigation. But Dawood, he remains untouched. In 2003, the U.S. Treasury formally froze Dawood Ibrahim's assets under its Kingpin Act. India, the UK, and several other nations followed with economic sanctions and asset seizures. The Indian government has auctioned off multiple of his properties under anti-mafia laws. But even after decades on the run, Dawood's name still carries weight. He represents more than a criminal. He is a symbol of the state's failure to catch him and the global reach of modern organized crime. From Bollywood films to political debates, from UN lists to street legends, Dawood is everywhere and nowhere. He lives as a ghost, a billionaire fugitive in plain sight. And so the question remains, how does a man become too big to arrest or too dangerous to forget? Dawood Ibrahim is more than just a fugitive. He's a lesson of how power corrupts, how borders blur, and how in the age of information, some ghosts never die. Until today, his legacy still seeps through generations, shaping underworld empires, defying nations, and outliving the justice meant for him.
If you found Dawood Ibrahim's story fascinating, wait till you see the others we've covered. Some will truly blow your mind. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more unbelievable stories right here.